3 Buick Park Avenue Ultra is awesome. So when this thing came out, it came with a 3.8 liter supercharged V6 that put out 240 horsepower and 280 pound-foot of torque. Now this engine, if you guys know anything about General Motors products and engines in general, is the L67 Series 2 3800 supercharged V6. Very reliable, very reliable. Now, if you want to get more horsepower out of this car, you could get a little bit more, put a smaller pulley on the supercharger, but you're not going to get much horsepower. You have to upgrade the blower, and little do people know, this thing's not intercooled, which means that you're going to generate a lot of heat, and heat's bad for engines. So if you want more horsepower, you got to intercool it, upgrade the supercharger, and probably put headers on this car, and that's pretty cool. And you know, parts are relatively cheap for this car. So a little fun fact that I was told by the owner is this washer jug can hold a full jug of washer fluid. That's interesting because it's such a big car. You think that once this is completely empty, you can put a full jug of washer fluid, but you can't. You can only put in about 3/4 of a jug. I think that's interesting. Also, you don't see this often in new cars, are the balancers or the focusers on the headlights. That's pretty cool. You get to see exactly what you're looking at. So the name of the game with this car is reliability and affordability. A fun fact to know about this particular grille on the Buick is it's called the Dollar Grin Grille because it's supposed to emulate like a chrome grin, like this. Now another interesting styling cue that Buick was known to have, you don't see this on Buicks today, is these ports. These are called venti ports. Now venti, standing for ventilation ports, Buick started using these in 1949. Now they were supposed to simulate a World War II fighter plane's exhaust, and they're functional. What they do is they extract all the heat from the engine and puts it out there. I think it's really cool. Now, the car that took over this car, the successor, was the Buick Lucerne. The Buick Lucerne has venti ports as well, and I think that makes the car look awesome. And when they're functional, that's even better. Now, they used to measure the size of a trunk by how many bodies you can fit in the trunk. And I'll tell you this, you can definitely fit a couple bodies in this trunk. So something that not a lot of modern cars have is airbag suspension. Now, what does airbag suspension mean? It means that this car absorbs bumps like a full-sized pickup truck. However, even though everything on this car is affordable and cheap to fix, the airbag suspension is one of the more expensive parts. I looked it up on Rock Auto. One of them goes for about $350. Now, put this in perspective, a quick strut for the average car costs around $200. So we're talking a full assembly strut, coil, and mount. This costs $350 each. But I talked to the owner and he said it's pretty reliable, but it sometimes triggers a StabiliTrak light. So a little background information on the Buick Park Avenue. This is the Generation 2 that ran from 1997 to 2005. Like I said, the successor to this vehicle was the Buick Lucerne. However, this is really cool. I love this fact. Well, is the third generation of the Buick Park Avenue wasn't sold in the North American market. However, it was sold in the Chinese market between 2007 and 2012. And guess what platform it was based on? The Zeta platform. Yes, the same platform as the Pontiac G8 and the Gen 5 Camaro. It was rear-wheel drive. It was awesome. Who doesn't love a rear-wheel drive luxury V8 sedan? So typical interior for any early 2000s General Motors product. However, the fit and finish is really good. The one thing that I like about these early 2000s cars is it has physical buttons. You know me, I hate the touchscreen buttons because say you're driving around and you're like, oh, I don't like this station, I want to change it. Boom, you don't even have to take your eyes off the road. But if it's a touchscreen, you're like, I'm driving around. Oh, where is it? What menu is it? Who knows? This is another cool fact. The passenger can control the air condition and heater on their own side. Yes, modern cars has dual mode climate control, but this is personal. If you're in the passenger seat, you can be like, I don't like it. It's too hot. Boom, cool. Or, it's a little too cold. Boom, hot. I think that's so cool. I wish more modern cars had that. Now the stereo system's really cool. This is typical early 2000s when they were transitioning from cassette to CD. Now, not only did you get one CD player here, in the trunk, you got 12 CD players. However, it doesn't work anymore. It's just too old. But that's cool. Say you're like, hey, I want 12 CDs. You load 12 CDs up there, you put your favorite one there. So another cool thing that you don't see on modern cars, and I think this is really cool, is if you change the volume on the steering wheel, the volume changes on the radio. What? I think that's so freaking cool. Now this is really cool, and you do see this on modern cars, but it's an option, is a heads-up display. This is a heads-up display so you can see your speedometer and all that, and then your adjuster is right there, so you can adjust the brightness. And these gauges look retro. It's like they printed something modern, but they're trying to emulate a retro style gauge from like the 60s, for example. So I love full-size sedans, but what makes this full-size sedan special is the seats. They are so plush, they are so comfortable. You can have a road trip and your passengers will love you. They'll fall asleep in a second and you're not cramped. Your legs are fully extended. This is like sitting in the back of a truck or an SUV, except you got the drivability of a car. This car has parking sensors, but what's unique about this car, because this was in a time period where backup cameras weren't readily available and readily put on cars, is this had a backup sensor that gives you a light indication. When you got closer, the more lights would show up, and that meant you were closer to whatever's behind you. So it's no joke with this car. It is really comfortable. A lot of modern cars with low profile tires don't ride very well. Their suspension is tuned and the low profile tires are tuned for performance and handling, which is great. Good handling is awesome. Does this car handle that well? No, not really, but it does the job. If you're looking for a daily driver that flies under the radar, is cheap on the insurance, is cheap to repair, is reliable, and is somewhat quick, this is your car. This is a really good car. And they're not that expensive. This is in really good shape, this one that I'm test driving. It should go for about 6 to 8 grand. Now, yes, that sounds like a lot for a 2003, but 6 grand, low kilometers, mint condition, and then reliability and cheap parts, and quite frankly, cheap to run this car overall. What more can you ask for? And 240 horsepower and 280 pound-foot of torque, that's pretty darn good. It has good passing power, like, geez, like you feel it. This car brings back memories. I actually learned how to drive on a 2003 Chevrolet Impala. This reminds me so much like it. It's a big, comfortable car, and they're really reliable. I keep saying that, but it's the truth. Not a lot of people know about this car. So it was built on the famous Detroit Hamtramck line, which you know is gonna be good quality. Good quality cars come from that line. It was based on the G platform. Don't get that confused with the G body platform. No, it's not G body, it's a front wheel drive platform. A lot of cars were on this platform. Big full-size sedan. Full of SUVs and pickup trucks that, you know, quite frankly, lie about fuel economy. They're bad aerodynamics and low horsepower engines just drag on the car. this is a really good alternative. This was before technology got thrown into cars that overpowered cars. Technology makes cars expensive, one, but two, they make cars not that reliable, which sucks. I want reliability. I want to be able to, hey, if I want to switch this radio out, I want to switch this radio out. New cars, you can't do that. This car, you can. You want to put a better radio on? Boom, just take it out and you're good to go. Technology changes so quickly. The thing is, in 10 years, it's probably going to be outdated, and I don't like that. And I said this before, but I love the fact that I can take this out and put a brand new stereo in, and then once that brand new stereo becomes outdated or stops working, I'll take that out and put another brand new stereo. You don't get that today. You really don't. They make them so like one piece. Also, I get it, handling is important to me, but the thing is, comfort's important to me too. And the only way you get like a really comfortable car that handles bumps and, you know, potholes very well is like a pickup truck or, you know, SUVs too. But the thing is, they cost a lot of money, they're not that great on fuel, and they're more expensive to fix. And this car does it all. Like, I feel like I'm floating, especially in these seats. I get it, this is gonna get a lot of heat, this car. People are gonna say, well, it's a grandpa and a grandma's car. Yeah, I get it. But if you're on a budget or you want something that you don't wanna worry about and you wanna just daily drive it and don't worry about it getting stolen or damaged or anything, this is a good car. Like, the transmission, it's a 4-speed heavy-duty transmission. It shifts so smoothly, I can't even tell it's shifting. On these modern transmission, 8, 10 speed, you do feel it shifting. I don't know why, because there's too many gears and it's always wondering what gear to be in. This car knows what gear it's in. Yes, I know this looks like a grandma and grandpa's car, and quite frankly, it smells like it too. But if you're looking for a car that's comfortable, reliable, cheap to fix, has 240 horsepower and 280 pound-foot of torque, this is it. This gets the job done. In a world of technology, touchscreen this, touchscreen that, this has none of it. This was built during a time when that wasn't happening. And quite frankly, I love that.